Good morning, everyone. Good to see some of you in the chat active already. So, what up, Mike? Oh, Junie. Yeah, you were not the first one today. You are late. Hello, Andres. Hello, Tom. Veteran Futures. Good morning. Good morning to everyone. Let's see what we got. Simonov, hi. New faces on chat. I like to see this. Welcome to everyone. Okay. Good morning, Alex. What a crazy balance session yesterday. It was extremely hard to trade. Managed to just take 2 losses and move on from the day. I didn't even trade New York. Okay, let's start with the usual thing, I guess. Going over the high time frame and down to the lower time frame. Wednesday, midweek. Let me check because I don't know if we have news. I think we have today. I think it is important news, FOMC. We have FOMC this evening. So that would be probably a handicap for the whole day, I guess. So we have to be a little bit cautious maybe with how the market moves prior to FOMC. But yeah, besides that, we're gonna go with the usual. Okay, let's start with the daily chart. Good morning then. Usual analysis. We're in the same spot as yesterday, basically. We marked out this daily fair value gap. I really was expecting some like a stronger reaction off of this. If you remember yesterday, I was looking for a test of the fair value gap to look for longs. It was a tricky one because we completely filled and even went beyond the fair value gap. Let me just remove the stop map for now. And we managed to close and start today's daily candle inside the fair value gap. So when this happens for me, it's like a moment in time where my bias are not clear enough. Like, is this fair value gap holding, or is this just a temporary thing and now we're gonna move lower? That's the thing. We're just in the middle of the fair value gap. Hard to tell. Like, if instead of just completely filling the fair value gap, closing pretty much like really close to closing below the fair value gap, we would have just touched it and had a reaction. I would be bullish, but for now it's just weird because we're in the middle. So anything could happen. Like, we can go higher, we can go lower at this point. Like, I cannot extract like a strong bias from the daily chart, if that makes sense. What up, Peter? Catus Peter. Welcome. It is true that we still have, like, I don't know if you also guys remember that we mentioned this daily devil's mark here that we confirmed, and we talked about price maybe wanting to go for the devil's mark. And that's maybe what we want to do. But again, from the daily chart, a bit of undecisiveness. That's what I get from the daily chart, basically. Going lower to the 4-hour. Check a moment. Check something on my phone. Yeah, from the 4-hour chart, where are we? We have the Devil's Mark here. We are right now on a 4-hour fair value gap here to the downside. Boom. Minus fair value gap. 15-minute break with Asia highs, MT confirmation over 5-minute. Okay, let's check the 15. We also tapped into a 4-hour down here. that moved us higher. We also completely, that's not an IFPG, that's a minus fair value gap. We have an inverse fair value gap here in the 1 hour and the 4 hour. 1 hour. A bunch of fair value gaps here on the into the upside that we failed completely. And then going on to 15-minute, check the SMT that Jason's talking about. Let me check. Where's Asia? Oh, true. Completely true. Oh, but DDS gave us the SMT. No, we took it. So we just took Asia high, and that's something that I really like to use for my drawn liquidity. To be honest, I think we can go lower. I'm leaning more towards the downside move rather than the upside move. Like if I can frame something out of the open, that's the truth. But from the daily, good morning, KB. From the daily, you only trade breakers? Yeah, I only trade breakers. Yep. Yesterday we didn't take the 1-day Devil's Mart. That says something. Yeah, that's what I'm like. What we are talking about. That we moved close to the Devil's Mark on the daily chart, but we didn't get into it. And maybe now that the daily chart is showing like some weakness here, we have swing. Like boom, we have a swing formation here. That's the four candle of the swing formation here. So maybe the four candle moves like lower, same as the third one. What up, Alex? Good morning. So maybe we're going to the Devil's Mart. That's why I'm trying to lean more towards the shorts here rather than the longs. We'll see. Slightly leaning more towards the shorts rather than the longs. That's the only thing that I can extract from the chart. Let me check crude oil real quick. If price closes now, would you take it on the 15 or the 5-minute? Okay, let's check that out. 15, if 15 is not like extremely big, probably the 15. Like the 15 makes sense here. We don't have like an extremely big breaker. Like it's a good size of a breaker. You can play this pretty comfortable. Something like this. Yeah, probably the 15-minute is good enough, Andres. Thing is that the move seems to be happening already, and um and what I want to see, like what I usually want to see from the opening, is just a manipulation move, not rather like a continuation of the move already. That's what I usually don't take trades before the opening. Like I personally wouldn't take this trade just because I want to see this price movement here, the liquidity sweep movement after the open. Let's see, 3 a.m. right now. Let's see, did we tap into anything high time frame? No. Mm, we have nothing here. 15 minute gap here, but we completely filled that one. Yeah, maybe we just go higher and then start moving lower off of the breaker. That's a possibility. Okay, let me start removing some of these fair value gaps on high time frame because it doesn't make sense to just have them all. Rainier, uh, no, Jason, on a bearish one, the breaker is the lowest or consecutive lowest downside candles before they move the tail liquidity. For the green ones are the bullish ones. Yeah, I love to see a sell-off here also. Are you taking this trade? So far, not considering it, because as I was saying, I'm just gonna remove this. I don't want to induce anyone to think about I'm taking this trade. Um, the thing is, I really like to see this move here, like the move that takes liquidity. I like to see it happen at opening, like when we open. So I don't usually take the trades when we have the breaker, like the whole thing formed prior to the opening. Not meaning that this cannot like work. It's something that I don't like to do. I don't like to take because sometimes we have a strong opening and we sweep again the high and then we move lower, you know? It's not that I'm waiting, it's something that uh, you can expect. That it could happen. So if it could happen, I prefer to just not like expose myself to that moment. What does DM mean, Devil's Mark? We have Devil's Mark here in the 15 minute. It's just a candle that has no wick on one of the sides. So basically just satisfied one side of the candle, leaving a no wick here. And usually when this happens, price tends to move towards, eventually tends to move towards these areas where the candle didn't create a wick. I don't know why it's called a devil's mark, but it is what it is. So would you wait for a 15 make a or what would need to happen for you to jump in? Yeah, probably some sort of move lower, 15-minute gap, tap into it again, and look for a continuation right here. Like we have like I have the choice to get into this trade, but again, it's not something that I usually do. So I would prefer to just see how price lives without me, confirm that we're maybe going lower, and then jump in on a 15-minute gap for a continuation trade on the 1 minute. Like seem to be pushing higher. Crude oil, what is oil doing? Pumping again, going for a high maybe. Tapped into this fair value gap here. And now we seem to be moving higher. Looks like this is holding so far. What about gold? Completely uninterested on gold. Let me check this on crude oil. See if I can see something here. No, we didn't tap into the 15-minute gap here. Let me check where we are in this tab map. Five minute. The thing is, price is moving really slow as usual. Not getting like much of movement here. So it's really hard to frame anything else right now rather than this breaker maybe. Optimization labels. Yeah, we just need to wait. So far, I like that we are holding this, you know. I plot this. I just want to see where the 2R is. Too hard, too hard, too hard, too hard. It's like, yeah. Just do. Oh, wait, I can see the tour. Yo, then it's being crazy good, to be honest. I was like an hour ago, I was by the beach having lunch, so I cannot complain. Okay, seems like we are running lower. No, I did not get in, just because of the fact that we didn't form the breaker at the moment of like at the opening, you know. I mean, I think it's a good trade. Like shorting it, it's like a good move. It's just part of how I trade that I didn't want to take this. I'm gonna wait and see if we form something that I can take as a continuation. We tap into the 4 hour gap and took out the Asia highs when she was at the first minute CSD. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. Like high time frame, it is crazy good for the fact that the 4 hour gap in the Asia high being taken. Holding to Asia lows, crazy. What is it? What is it? What is it? Asia middle. Oh, right there. It lands perfectly with -4, like 4 hour. Mm. I feel like we're still gonna manipulate it up before the shorts. I mean, if that's the case, then I'm gonna short. That's for sure. Like if we get another sweep off the high, I'm gonna short it. I don't know. It feels like it held pretty good this area. I love breakers when I see how you trade them. Yeah, I know. I think it happens. It happens for me like the same thing with IFPGs. Like when I see people trading IFPGs, I always think, "Fuck, I would like to have this entry and be in the trade way lower." But then I don't use them. It's pretty much I would be able to trade the same model that I use, like the same way, because pretty much like same way we all use. But taking fair inverse of other gaps. But I guess it's just part of like the conviction on like the entry function itself. Like if you've been using another thing for a long time, it's always hard to believe into taking something else that you've not like traded that much. Damn, Kurill went for Asia high already. When I check sell, it's always super close to Asia high that I cannot like do anything. We tap now into minus manipulation here with this touch. And Q keeps going lower. How long you got left out there in time? 1 month more. I've been here for 3 weeks, I think it is. Close to 3 weeks. And then I'm gonna stay for 1 whole month more. Is Thailand fun? Yeah. So far, like really great experience. Damn, chasing with the breaker on the 15. GG. Andreas, are you in? Because you asked about the 15-minute breaker. Did you take it? Do you have any gaps? Oh, we have 4 hour Fibonacci gap here. I didn't see that one. No, I just stay 1 minute. Okay. Let's Fibonacci gap with the 4 hour Fibonacci gap. Yes, that is. Oil going lower. No. So Asia low is right there. Okay. Okay. We're close to going to 2 hours. Thing is, we have this 4 hour gap that I really want to be aware of. You trade anything other than the unicorn model? Not really. Like I sometimes like I have different like moments where I try to implement different things to the model. One of them being probably um, like when we have an inverse value gap that's forming or that formed into a potential breaker, adding into the position at the inverse value gap, and then completing the whole position whenever we confirm. Like it's more like a way to get into the position rather than trading a different model. I did not trade any different model besides the unicorn model. I just experimented with the same model, but changing a few things. Not I can see where I could enter unless 15-minute gap. I know. Um, like right now, I'm gonna also check for the 4 hour gap here, see how what it does. Like, I was wondering if you could let us know what indicator you use to mark the edge higher or low. It's I need to check into this because it's an indicator that that Joshua, like a guy that makes indicators, made for me. Um, and and we posted somewhere. I don't know where it was. Like he posted it somewhere for free, but I think the link expired, got lost or something. So I'm gonna ask him if I can publish it again so you can guys have it. It's just this really simple like thing where it just marks a rectangle above, like it's like you have the inputs here so you can change the sessions and create more sessions and show where you want them to show, like if above or below the Asia at the session. I need to check and see if I can post it somewhere so you can guys have it. Yeah, no problem, no problem. Struggling to go to the tour. New York. New York is always the better, like the best session, or like the one where I think that the model keeps repeating like more consistently over time. It's also by the fact that it has more fake outs, I guess. Like it's one of the hardest, but it's also one of the most rewarding ones. You've been patched. That's true. That's true. That's when you've been patched. It was not like it is not what it was before. Like I remember 20, like if someone was around 2023, 2024, it was like it was crazy. Like you could find like a good trade in just a couple of minutes into the session. And then the whole session moved into the same direction for the whole day. Yeah, we are bouncing up of it, like anywhere. Like there's nothing here. Pre-markets still clean. Yeah, The thing is, like, I have so like as a hard rule to not like check pre-markets or like in between session that much that I don't usually trust. Like I pretty much never traded outside sessions, so I don't trust price that much. Sorry. Um, outside sessions. Can you show us a previous trade you took with the unicorn in the market stayed slow? What do you mean? The one that we took yesterday that was a loss, or like any other trade, like a random trade? Could be a random. Ooh, let me see if I can find any. That makes sense. But we've been trading like stock markets this past New London sessions where we've been in trades for a long time, also for a short period of time. There was one. Let me see if I can find it. So let me show you the image. I don't want to go back because I don't want to lose track of what we're seeing here. Let me paste an image here and see if I can show you one of the trades that we took here. Um, can you paste the image because it's too large? Okay. Too large of an image. Okay, let me check. That was April 16, 3 a.m. April 16, 3 a.m. Start new date, April 16, 3 a.m. This trade that I'm going to show you, we took it on stream. It was like a complete slow market. What up, Ice Cube? What was it? What was it? Okay, let's see if I can find. How's it going, bro? I cannot find a trade for the sake of me. Here it is. So here this day, we opened London and we moved towards this 15-minute gap. Okay. Time frame alignment. 15-minute high time frame. We go to 1 minute low time frame, right? So we spotted the 15-minute gap. We tap into it right at the open, going to the 1 minute. The job here is to find a 1 minute entry. Draw on liquidity, smooth edges. We have different highs here. 1, 2, 3 highs that are intact. 1, 2, no, my bad. And 3, that's the second one. So that was the draw on liquidity. High time frame fair value gap, 15-minute, 1 minute breaker would be, we took liquidity here. That's the sweep on liquidity. So when I'm trying to show this trade as a slow market trade, see how we are trading inside this 21-point range. Like it's a really small range, but you can still find something trading the unicorn on small ranges, small movements. We use this candle as the breaker block, and then we started moving higher. I think the entry was here. The stop loss was somewhere below the the breaker block, and it was a hell of a trade because we were ranging and tapping into the breaker for a long time until we went for the drawn liquidity. So we managed to catch a breaker trade, like a unicorn also, because we have a fair value gap here that we managed to hold within the breaker. And that was pretty much the trade that we took. Like, I think we took this one, I mean, we took this one live. And again, it's just a 20-point range, and we managed to catch a trade. That makes sense. BlackRock, like slow markets, but we are being able to frame something anyway with the right context on the high time frame. What is this thing doing? Are we going for it or not? This gold sell was nice. Oh, yeah. Crude oil is also super strong. Like it's going above Asia high. It's crazy. When it starts, it doesn't stop. Oh. You can see this fair value gap tap and see the 4 hour, what it does. Taking it really slow. There's no 15-minute gap here. Like if we had this as a 15-minute gap, imagine that we had this 15-minute gap. I would like to go into the 1 minute and look for something to continue lower, but we don't have anything. Yeah, that would be amazing numbers. Do you ever use? I sometimes use them, but then what I do is go into the 30 seconds chart, not the 1 minute chart. Morning. Yeah, I'm being more cautious today because of FOMC also. We mentioned it before starting that we have to be aware that we have FOMC and maybe price action is not the best. So far, I have to say that this move lower that we were expecting has been cleaning off so far. No complaints about how London opened, pretty much following the idea that we had. Big push on CL, yeah, bro. Oh, two. Oh my God. Why? He's really going for the high. Wise choice. Wise choice. That's what I'm gonna do after the stream. What? It's taking too much time here at around 1 hour. Go, here we go. We tap in the 4 hour gap now. So that's something to be aware of. Probably I would have been out of this trade already after the tap on the 4 hour. Now here for me, is, are we gonna continue going lower into Asia low, or are we gonna see a bounce from the 4 hour gap? That's the that's the thing here for me. So far, not a big reaction from the 4 hour gap. Okay, new 15 open, 2 hour from this breaker. So now it's officially 2 hour from the 15-minute breaker, the trade that I would have framed or taken. I mean, not taken because I wouldn't have taken, but the one we were framing just hit 2 hour. And GG for the ones that took the short here. It is paying off. Are you long gap on CL? I see you excited about the push. There you go. You got the high. I don't know you were. Oh, okay. You're on the chart again. Yeah, CL to the high here. This thing going even lower. Let's see if we can manage to go for Asia low right there. And tap the daily open and go for Asia low. What a crazy move. There's no more areas for me to aim. Support, no. 1 hour, no. Yeah, it looks like we're moving straight to Asia low. What up, Justin? How are we doing? You just exited your shorts, GG. G fucking G. Let's see if you can close well the gap. Yeah. But that's one thing that I really enjoy is that I mean, we are all trading. Like I really like to see that this is not just a copy trading thing where you just guys just join because you want to copy trade the person streaming. I really like to see everyone taking their own trades and commenting so we can like share what we are all doing. I didn't take this trade because of X and Y because I had my own thing, and see everyone taking the trade based on everyone's idea is like what I really enjoy. When you do you predominantly chart and execute on a queue continues for a month over charting on the quarterly contract? Yeah, bro. Um, I only like fading you. You won yesterday, Uni. I was in long on the 5 minute and you were short against me. Do you yeah. Yeah, I pretty much always go for the continuous one. I used to like in the past I used to chart the quarterly contract, but it's just pretty much the same thing. Sometimes there's because at the end of the day it's just the same thing. Like usually there's no difference at all when it comes to charting. I guess the only moment where you can like prefer to check the quarterly and not continuous is when there's the contract change or like we're close to changing the contract and whatever you like to check on, like there's people that check open interest, there's people that check open volume on each one of the contracts, and I don't know what's the criteria on TradingView when changing the contract itself, like making into the continuous one. um so I guess the only moment where you would like it would make sense to check the quarterly is when you consider that the open or the open interest or the open volume is good enough for you to already start looking at the new contract. Only evil though just needed 800. I wish you to guess this on fun. You're getting good. You're gonna win anyways, Uni. So yeah, um, that's something really normal because like I guess like I think for me, the NQ contract is way more important than the MNQ. So I guess you should always, because I think that's the one that has more volume, if I'm not wrong. Um, and for me, NQ is the one where I chart, and then MNQ is the one where I execute if I wanna. Yeah, like if you check MNQ, you're gonna see where things can different candles over like compared to the NQ contract, like the mini, you're getting discrepancies basically. And for me, the one with the most, like the more important one is NQ, the mini, besides the micro. It's something that it's really common. What you just said that people chart MNQ, excuse me, NQ, and then execute MNQ is something really common because MNQ has differences between each one of the contracts. Yeah, Justin, I would have done the same thing. Like for me on the 4 hour gap, I would have closed the trade, even if it's not 2 hour, like even if it's 1.8 or whatever. I don't like to hold trades through fair value gaps. Overall, I think long term is not something that I've been profitable about, like trying to trade again, like through a whole fair value gap, especially for a 4 hour, maybe a 15 minute, I would have done it. A 4 hour, nah. Crude oil, is no, no, no. It's a completely good question. Like, there's no dumb or boring questions, bro. Like you can make any question. The thing is, you have to, like, for example, if there's a discrepancy where MNQ is not showing a candle inside, like into the same direct, like, let's see, sometimes it happens where on a breaker, like for example, let me find the current breaker that we are trading. You're gonna see that maybe MNQ, this one candle here on the breaker that you're using to take your entry, this one, instead of showing as a downside candle, it shows as an upside candle. So you would use, like, what you would have done on I mean, you just check and queue, see if that candle is a downside or an upside candle. Okay, it's a downside candle and MNQ is an upside candle. I don't give a fuck of what MNQ is telling me. I'm gonna use these two candles on MNQ, even if this one is a green one, because NQ has it as a downside candle. That's what you need to do. Um, when it comes to the wigs and weird price movements on MNQ compared to NQ, it is something that you cannot control. Like if a price movement is larger on MNQ and not NQ, like you cannot control. I think the only thing that you can control is whatever you're checking on the chart. Just follow what NQ is showing you, and change something. Yeah, I know, but it is what it is. Like when it comes to wigs, like you cannot like do anything about it. If MNQ wigs lower or higher compared to NQ, it is what it is. I always try, like I always try to trade NQ. Like I don't, for example, there's people that trade 10 micros. If you're gonna trade 10 micros, that's basically 1 minute, and you're not gonna use what a micro contract gives you. That is like closing, taking partials, for example. If you're opening 10 micros and closing 10 micros into a take profit, you should be trading the NQ contract, not the MNQ. If you want to take partials, like close contracts into different areas, then it's completely okay to do it. How do you see the correlation between ES and NQ and NQ and YM? How often do you look at YM? I never look at YM. Like I never look at YM. For me, YM is like, it moves so differently from, like, between ES and NQ, that I think like sometimes the correlation between them is like extreme, like they're into opposite extremes. Like maybe YM is just rallying up, and then Q and ES is, are moving way lower. If I had to check YM for the SMTs or like the correlations in the market, most of the time I wouldn't be trading, because YM is an asset that usually does like its own thing. That's why I prefer to just NQ and ES and not NQ or ES with YM. Because like YM, it's just, I don't know, it's just, I don't know if you've seen the meme of the three dragons. Like there's a meme of like the three dragons. One like NQ is the one, the angry one. Then ES is like the cute one, and then YM is like the fucking dumb one. Whoa, what a call. Like this 15-minute candle closing like this right now. Gee, nothing that I can do here for now. Maybe we form a 15-minute gap to continue lower, maybe. But the thing that the way it is closing this like this, covering part of this move here and closing pretty much above the 4 hour fair value gap. Almost any 1 hour through, 1 minute to go. Like, that's also one of the things. Let me see. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, there we go. 4 a.m. open. Would you trust the 15-minute gap? Hmm. The fact that it's just really small, I don't know. I would need to see how this 15-minute forms here. Damn, we're pushing higher. I'm gonna get induced into taking a long again on the 15-minute and the 5-minute chart. Where's the 1 hour high here? 15 closes swing. I mean, technically, oh shit, it closed right at the same price level. I guess so. I guess we can call it that it closes the swing. I guess. Let's see. Let's see what this 15-minute candle does. For now, the fair value gap is here. Move the 4 hour gap here. The other thing here is that we tap the 4 hour. Okay. And now we're gonna trade above this 5-minute. Right here. 15-minute gap is gone. That would be the liquidity sweep. Yeah, but the thing is that it could be that the 4 a.m. like remember 4 a.m. yesterday it opened, it started moving higher and then eventually it died again. Like for me, the best thing that would have happened here would have been possibly that we took this low here in this move to then use for higher if I wanted to go for higher. Yeah, like yesterday. Yes, mid equal lows. Oh, true. If we had SMT, that would have been really good. What did you have for lunch? I had fried noodles with like some veggies and pork. That's the standard here. The standard here is just like rice or noodles or pad thai with veggies and and meat. Yeah, it is 15 minutes doing its thing. Good morning, dancer. I mean, I think the best part was not like the lunch itself, it was the view. Like we were by the beach at a restaurant, like at a, yeah, I don't know, at a place. Okay, we're gonna. It seems like the 15 is doing its thing here. If I wanted to short this, why would I use this? The thing is, I have to use this breaker here. See what CL is doing. Our CL is just fucking going higher like crazy. This is. I see. I think it is just way strong to not be a continuation. Should be a Paris IB. But Nate, the stats on the IB for London, they're not that good, right? Oh, you don't have access. I need to show you somewhere. I can post it on X. Thing is the short here towards the Asia low is a bit of a not good. What can I do here? 1.5. Yeah, you have no access, Nate. Yeah, I know. I need to check them for you. For 700, 5 minute event, yeah, it's true. All the 5 minute favorable gaps to the downside were respected. Yeah, we're gonna go lower, but the risk to reward ratio here is just so bad. can I do here? Looks like I'm gonna miss the short. It's like I don't have a good entry. So we're gonna create a T with the edge, right? They're really close to. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait, even though like I wanted to short, there's nothing that fits my risk reward criteria. Like I will be forcing my way into the trade here, like trying to execute on something that is not a breaker. You're already lower at the range. Does that bother you? It's already lower at the range. Does that bother? I mean, obviously, it is best to just short when we're up here, not down here. Um, so I guess that's also one of the reasons that it would be probably a not good decision. But so I'm gonna pass on the short here. Let's see. Yes, did yes take Asian? No, it didn't. We going lower. Not. Yeah, we are. Another thing is, do I want to look for longs after taking Asia low? Asia low. Let me check the 1 hour. We just swiped the previous 1 hour. He is about to take Asia low. It didn't. Another equal low here. Hmm. Imagine that we just leave this equal low again here. I mean, on DS, the continuous one, and the mini, it didn't take the Asia low for one take. Still equal lows. Yeah. They're completely equal. Like they're both at the same price. So it's insane. we gonna take it or not? Tiny range on CL. And now it's gonna boom, go higher again with another 1% move. Well, yes, take it. Okay, there it goes. We touch HLO on ES, not on NQ, so we have SMT right now. What are we gonna do now? Okay. In previous low. Previous hourly low also. So we have both 15 and hourly. Ooh, there's someone in the prediction market that bet big on CL going back higher. Ooh. Okay, for the people watching us through X, that is pretty much 100 people. I encourage you to come over YouTube because I think we have great conversations on chat, and I think watching it through X, um, you guys are missing out on the chat and the interaction thing. So make sure to come over YouTube, subscribe so you cannot miss anything. Because right now we are 70 people over YouTube and close to 100 on X. Uh, what do we have? Let me check the high time frame again. Boom, boom, 1 hour. Boom. Like I wouldn't mind seeing a move to the upside now. That's the truth. Where where do I want to enter? That's a great question. Something like this maybe. can do something this, and then towards this high, maybe. We swap previous 15-minute low, 15 previous low, and that's previous 1 hour low, maybe. Oh fuck! What a push! Let me check this. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna give it a stop here on the long going. Where short term move higher. I know. That's why it made sense. Like the 1 hour, 50 minutes. I didn't check the 5. That's the truth. But maybe getting the entry from here, 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 to R. Let me see. That makes also sense. 5. Okay, closing the 1 minute above. How is the S doing? It's the same. That's probably gonna be my only like try on a trade for this session, most likely. A drop on CM would be nice now, yeah. That goes along with the move to the upside on NQ. Get me the entry. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. We didn't get the entry when you connect again to try to wait. Is it going to be the only trade that I want to take? Am I going to get an entry? It could be. Oh, can I get my entry, please? Tired, boss. Yes, tired. Can you talk us through what you have seen to decide for next execution? Yeah, sure. So first of all, we have Asia. We have ES that took Asia low right here, and then Q didn't. So we have an SMT here. Boom. That's SMT. So that's bullish, a bullish sign for NQ, meaning that NQ is stronger. Like it's way more likely to go higher than ES now. And then if you go to the 1 hour, we just swept the previous hourly low here. So this candle could be forming a possible swing higher, meaning that this candle closes above the previous hourly low, and then the third candle, like the new 1 hour, expands higher. But usually when we sweep, like usually the way that I trade is getting into the trade on the C2, like the one that sweeps the liquidity, because that's where the breaker usually confirms. And at the same time, if you go on the 15, we have the same thing that we're looking for here on the 1 hour, but on the 15 minute. I'm just gonna rest. But on the 15 minute, we swept the previous 15 minute, um, and we are moving like we are trading above the previous low. So that's like we swept the previous hour liquidity, previous 15-minute liquidity with SMT on Asia lows for a move higher. I mean, the idea was right. It just happened really quick. Like no way to get into this. I really wanted to get into this breaker here, like down here, no entry. I decided to, okay, I'm gonna do a mix of this candle and this candle and use this breakup structure here to get into the trade, no entry. I'm still gonna wait with the limit just in case we have a drop and somehow I get filled on this trade. Most likely here, seeing how price is reacting and how is it moving. Most likely we're gonna run the high and I'm gonna be sitting out of the trade. It is what it is. So what I'm trying to anticipate is forming a swing low here on the 1 hour, 15 minute, and 5 minute. That's the whole premise, anticipating the swing formation. Then sometimes like the swing doesn't get confirmed, and I still manage to take a trade during the C2 formation, and then C3 doesn't continue going higher, and then the swing completely goes away. Yeah, swing low, swing low. My bad. Swing low, yeah. It's just the anticipation of forming a swing here. And again, it's sometimes like the swing doesn't like form at all. Like it doesn't go through, it follow through the C3 and C4. But just by the logic of sweeping previous like high time frame liquidity, you can manage to get into a position with the same logic and be wrong on the assumption that you're gonna get the swing forming. Like I'm building something really cool, um, that I hope I can like share and launch it soon. That's gonna make like anything much easier to trade the way that I trade. Like I'm really happy for it, and I'm really excited to like launch it. You can already guess what it is, but it's pretty much done, and it's working really, really nice. Yep. Yeah. Being honest, I use it this way, the C1, C2, C3, just because of T trades. Like that's how I got introduced to the swing formation thing through T trades, and that's how I basically kept it like saying C1, C2. I mean, it also makes sense. Like if a swing formation has like four candles, so numbering them. When will you plan to get it out, Andres? I hope. I mean, the idea was by the end of this month. Of course, we are already at the end of this month, and we are not like there yet. Probably in a couple weeks, maybe something realistic. The 15-minute candle. Yes, sir. An entry kind of closure. No, 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 not at all. It's just based on Jimmy. It's just based on preference. I feel like sometimes when I'm getting too comfortable with opening like market, um, like just by candle closures, like with no like limit enters, or an indicator closure down there at CSD. Uh, I mean, it's just matter of preference. I guess like I guess you're just uh, mm, 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 mm. Yeah, it's matter of preference. I don't think it's too aggressive. I would say it's just different. It depends also how you enter. Like, did you get into like at the closure you open at market? Because when I do this too often, I usually end up being really like impulsive with most of my entries. CL still pushing, bro. It's running extremely higher. How is it possible? Bro? Like we checked CL right here on this 15-minute gap, and now is it going 3% up on a whole session? Okay, I mean this. I'm taking this. I know it's falling like a fucking knife. It's gonna be probably the only trade that I take. Um, this could be a quick stop loss. That's the truth, because like with all the movement here that we had to the upside, this big move down now, it's a bit scary. We didn't sweep though the previous 15-minute high, so maybe we can go for the high again. Maybe this high, so I can move break even. Mm. Risky trade for sure after the whole move higher. And it looks like CL is not gonna do this. Yep. Here, it's still running higher, right? What do we have here? Or like nothing. Next is just next high is just so high. I'm gonna get probably stopped out real quick here. Am I chatting too much, by the way? No, you're not. That's the whole point of doing streams with the chat open. Gonna get stopped out in this, and if not, I'm gonna be extremely lucky. Yeah, I guess you missed the Discord. We just get the lines over here because we have the 1 hour previous load there. Mm, No, looks like I'm gonna get stopped out in this 1 minute candle. In the next one, probably we couldn't manage to close above the fair value gap here on this previous 1 minute, so it's looking really ugly for the trade. Yeah, going way higher. I'm tired. I want to see Juno win. We had a really great week, yes, like last week. I cannot complain. Losing a couple days here with the great week that we had last week. Short, it's super fast to recover. All in on short into the low. Short here into my stop loss. Yes, I was saying like I cannot be bothered taking a couple days um losing when we had like really green. You see anything in gold? Really green week last week. Gold just going lower, bro. Maybe a bounce off of these lows would make sense on gold. With these equal lows here, that would make sense. To be honest, that's the only thing that I can see. And I think I'm gonna get started out now, right now. Only thing for me here, let me show you the execution real quick. It was a quick trade. I was not even on the green, not even a minute. That's probably the only thing. I'm gonna be mad if this SMT holds and we end up moving higher. That's the truth. I had to take this long as that was probably the only trade that I was gonna take. And yeah, I think we went over the trade before, but basically what I was trying to play here was the SMT with the yellow, previous hourly low being swept. This swing, like this thing can still close below the previous low and still go higher. And then the 50-minute, pretty much the same thing. We swept previous 15-minute low and we started moving higher, but then like C3 didn't follow through. But that was pretty much the whole logic for this trade. Just a shame that I didn't short the move lower. But it is what it is. Oh, Oh, yeah. If it's just weak, my stop loss and moves higher, it's gonna be mad. It's what it is. Well, long session. But the truth is, the short move was clean enough. Like it was sustained enough into the same direction. So it was not bad at all. Mm, for 16 through OV, that's how Alex would trade it, right? This, this, like something like this, and this, right? True, true, true. Like NQ has been moving completely opposed to what crude oil has been doing, and crude oil is just ripping higher like crazy. The truth is, I wanted to get long into the like in this. Let me just no, that would have been just 1.5 R this trade. Yeah, Alex would have entered probably here 417 after the closure above the OV, right? So would have been in here and probably out or maybe going for this high here. Mm, You're gonna run higher now. That's an easy 2.7 R. Yeah. See, now crude oil is moving lower and it's gonna push higher. I'm gonna I'm gonna have to see this trade now play out. Might be. Let's see how doing lower. Mm. Like the thing here is like we are approaching the hourly close, and again we're still closing above the previous like for now we're still trading above the previous 1 hour low. So this thing can still play out perfectly, like the move, not the breaker, like my choice of a breaker. It's funny. No, no. This is so funny. Oh man. Look, I got some out here. To the fucking dick. I mean, it was the right idea, I guess. It is what it is. Like, I cannot control, I mean, I can control my stop loss, but I did whatever, like, what I do every time. You always place your stop to type. Why can't you put it below the swing point? Um, because overall, I just prefer to get stopped out on this type of trades and be out on, like, be quicker out on some other trades. You're gonna see that some of my trades like go to wire based on my stop loss and entry placement, and they completely reverse. It's just a matter of repetition. Like, it's a matter of long term of what I have in my statistics. And what I've seen is that statistically, I'm gonna have more like I'm gonna have paper cuts. That's for sure, like this. But overall, on the long term, it's way rewarding having a stop, like a tight stop loss. Like, more often than not, when this happens, we are going to the low. We are not stopping here. This is something that it can happen. That sometimes happen. We have seen this here right now. Um, but more often than not, when we go through the breaker, the next one is going to be the low. But like, if anyone liked this trade, they could have like obviously decide to place a stop loss below the low, and nothing wrong would have happened. Like, it gets to a point where this type of things, when happen, it like it's completely like you go through nothing. Like, I don't care that much of getting that stop loss here because I follow the way I always trade. CL starts running higher and Q starts going lower. What a mess of price action that we have to go through. Okay, I think we are. Damn, we've been streaming for over 2 hours now. Mhm. Let me check the likes on the YouTube stream. I'm gonna see if you did the homework today. Let me see. 26 likes, 70 viewers. But before we end the stream, please, guys, like the stream. It just takes 1 second, and it helps us a lot with metrics. Oh, why I got disconnected on my internet, I don't know. I think I lost myself for a second. Yeah, as I was saying, yeah, lately London has been not that boring. That's true. Maybe we just make it entertaining. between all, like with the chat and what we are seeing and whatever. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in once more. It was a pleasure to be here with you guys once more. Yeah. We're gonna see each other tomorrow. Let's see if we can end up with this couple days of a losing streak. I think it's been 3 days of losing streak now. We're going from a winning streak to a losing streak. Um, Part of trading. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for everyone. Also for the people that are watching through X. There are 125 people and close to 70 here on YouTube. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow, London session. Bye, guys.